Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the world of Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. My name is Jeremiah, also known as the mighty DOWLord. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 is an action-adventure hack-and-slash game developed by MercurySteam. Story-wise, you play as Dracula, a vampire prince of darkness, formerly known as Gabriel Belmont. You've been asleep over several hundreds of years, only to wake up in the 21st century. You lost your memory and all your powers, but don't worry, you got an old friend that goes by the name Sobek that's gonna help you solve all those problems. However, there's a catch. You need to stop Satan from returning to Earth, unless you want to become his pets and also do mankind in the process. The way to do it? Find and kill his acolytes. Except for the tutorial, the beginning of the game is very slow paced. You wake up, Sobek finds you, briefs you on the mission, and up until the point where you find the first acolyte, there's a few stealth sections mixed along the way, and to be honest, I thought it was really well done. This really gives you the time to both get to know a few of the characters in the game, get a feel for the mood that you're supposed to be in when playing it, and also get to know a little bit of the worlds. I think that was a very good decision to have that slow-paced start. However, after finding the first acolyte, the story of the game becomes dull, uninteresting, and boring. Sure, there's a few twists along the way and right at the end, however, not this impressive or these wow moments that the developers wanted it to be. And the ending, which is also supposed to be the conclusion to the whole Belmont family and also the free games they have released, is deemed a cliffhanger. And I wouldn't be surprised if they released the real ending or the continuation as DLC, just as they did with the first game. So that is a real disappointment, so shame on you. The gameplay is very similar to the first Lord of Shadow, with a few tweaks and changes of course. One noticeably is the stealth sections that I mentioned earlier, where you're being transformed into a rat and you're supposed to sneak up behind enemy lines, like a ninja. Oh no, not really. But sometimes of course you are actually possessing people to be able to open doors, among others. And it was a cool sequence, I really liked it, but it just really became repetitive and feel like I was just doing the same thing over and over again, and just doesn't get anywhere beyond that. It just stays there and is very limited. Still feels like an unnecessary addition to the game. The combat is the same as in the first game, however here you can acquire and level up more skills, and also by using a specific one and getting up to 100%, you can then transfer its power to the weapon it's associated with to make it more powerful. Now this just makes the game a little bit too easy in my opinion, especially when you get to level 3, which is maximum. And also, instead of light and dark magic, you now have the Void Sword, which regenerates your health, and your Fire Gauntlets, which can penetrate armor. The combat is one of the game's biggest strengths. It's solid, it's heavy, and rewarding. I've been using an Xbox 360 gamepad, and I gotta say, the button placements is very well done, and it's all very responsive. I haven't been trying out with the mouse and keyboard, so I can't give you any thoughts on that unfortunately. The game takes place both in modern day Tokyo and in your castle. Whenever you pick Earth as your playground in any sort of game, but especially fancy ones, the environment just looks boring. I mean, it doesn't speak of creativity or excitement as these fantasy worlds usually do. However, the castle segments in the game are incredibly done. They just looks beautiful, and I just wish a whole game were spent there, and it would really have raised the bar for me, and if they escaped the whole Tokyo and modern day thing. The game is filled with 133 secrets for you to uncover. One, for instance, is the pin boxes that contain gems, which can increase your health, void, or chaos magic. In the first game, you needed 3 of these gems to increase any one. However, here you need 5, which is a ridiculous number. I do not understand why they had that requirement here. It's just stupid. However, there are also nails that you can find, and when combined to a set of 4, you will unlock challenges. Since the game is an open world, backtracking becomes a huge issue. Especially when you're going back and trying to get secrets you couldn't get earlier, and also when you're doing main missions later in the game. In the first Lord of Shadow, there were a lot of puzzles very well done and exciting to solve, and it was, in my opinion, one of the highlights in the game. Here, however, in the sequel, I'm sorry to say that there is a complete lack of puzzles, which troubles me deeply because that was, as I said, one of the things I really enjoyed in the first game. The game took me about 23 hours to complete. That includes the main game, 90% of the lore, most of the artwork, but also the 133 secrets that you can collect. Now, I think the game is a little bit too short, because if you take away all these secrets, which due to the backtracking takes up a tremendous amount of time, well, then the game will become very short. So that's a big downside. Last but not least, I just want to say that the game is not difficult. I completed the normal and I died about 3 to 4 times, and I was only in boss fights. At 1080p with the settings cranked up to the highest, I got 60 frames per second with no FPS drop or so whatever. And I suppose you can get that number a lot higher if you so desire. Even though this game isn't technically impressive in any way, the design and aesthetics is incredibly and gorgeously done in this game. Whenever you just walk through a hallway in your castle, or whenever a new enemy appears, you always get a smile on your face telling you this is exactly how the design should be in a game like this. The music in the game is both epic and powerful. However, I think there's only 3 soundtracks. There's like a combat theme, a non-combat theme, and a boss theme. Sure, I suppose there's a lot more soundtracks than what I think. However, they all must sound very similar, or they only had these 3 ones and they're all on loop all the time. Which is just really bad in my opinion. In conclusion, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 is not a bad but neither a good game. Now, it is a disappointment if you compare it with the first game or similar ones in the same genre. That is why I give it a weak 6 out of 10. It's slightly above average, and I can't recommend it to anyone who really liked the first game, including myself, but I can do it to the ones who like hack and slash and where the combat is the only thing they care about. Right. I want to apologize for uploading this video extremely late after the game's release. The reason is that I've been getting blue screens whenever I launch the game up, and that took a long while for me to even bypass. And also, I'm sorry that there's no gameplay in this video. This is due to the fact that XSplit, the program I used to record my games with, just couldn't detect the game for some odd reason. So, I essentially couldn't record. Thanks you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. And if you have any questions regarding this review or me, put it in the comments below. And if you want to see more awesome videos, be sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next video. The mighty DOWLord out.